Welcome back to the Mood Ring Part 1 Exploring Color. Today we're going to do Challenge 2. First, I need to navigate to Challenge 2 in the TNS document. There are a number of ways to navigate among the pages in the TNS document. The way that I've used in the past is to use the Control key, touchpad click up, then scroll down until you see the desired page, click to highlight, and center click to select. This takes me to Challenge 2. Now I'm prepared to begin the challenge. Before I do that, I'm going to switch my view to a more convenient view so that you can see my full screen. I'm going to give you a moment to navigate to this page. Remember, your page number may not agree with mine if there has been an additional Python shell inadvertently inserted into the TNS document. So navigate to Challenge 2. It probably is page 1.8. I'll give you a moment now to do that. Pause your video, and when you are at Challenge 2, resume the video and we'll get started coding. Challenge 2. We're going to use the simulation that we just finished to try to determine the red, green, and blue values for the color.rgb command that we learned about in Challenge 1. Then we're going to write a program that displays all three of the secondary colors, cyan, yellow, and magenta, and we're going to use a sleep command between each color. The sleep command is a new command. It simply pauses the program for the amount of time that's in the parentheses just to make the hub more readable. In other words, it allows us to take time to look over at the hub and see the color before it switches to the next. So let's get started by reviewing our simulation and the idea that we want to try to find the values for the first secondary color that we're going to make, which happens to be cyan. So to do that, let's go back a page, Control, touchpad click to the left, and again to the left, and there it is. I'm trying to make cyan. Now from the quiz, I remember that cyan is green and blue. Green is the color on my color.rgb of 0, 255, 0. Blue on my color.rgb is 0, 0, 255. Now this is additive color mixing. So if I take my green and drag it over the blue, that intersection represents that additive sum. In other words, that cyan color results from the addition of the green and the blue. So if I were to take 0, 255, 0 and add 0, 0, 255, the sum would be 0, 255, 255. And so let's see if that in fact makes cyan on the hub. I'm going to try using the parameters 0, 255, 255 in my color.rgb to see if it acts the way that my simulation does to additively put the colors blue and green together. All right, let's give it a try. To do that, I'm going to do Control, touchpad click to the right once, and again, and one more time to get to the Python editor. Now, at the top of the Python editor, notice there is a comment. This comment says, be sure to import the TI Hub module. That has been done for you in Challenge 1, but in Challenge 2, you're asked to do that import. So let's do that. I can find that from the menu, and then number 8, TI Hub, and number 1, from TI Hub import all. I'll remind you, in Python, modules extend all of the functionality that is built into the Python language. In this case, this module, when imported, gives Python the ability to talk to the hub. In other words, you can use the commands like color.rgb and they'll work because those commands are part of the TI Hub module. And since I've imported it, I can use them. Well, let's give it a try. So it says, let's try to use this to do the values for the secondary colors. So I'll go ahead and click down here and I'll get myself below that little comment to kind of keep my code organized, and I'll go and grab that color.rgb command from the menu. So I'm going to do this with me. I'm going to go to the menu and Hub 8, and remember that the color LED is a built-in device. That is, it's actually part of the hub itself. So I'm going to choose 2, built-in device. And the color output is the color LED. So I'll choose 1. And I'm going to choose the RGB value, which is method 1 from the list. The tooltip tells me these range from 0 to 255, which I recall. And remember that I'm trying to make cyan, and in my simulation I had to add the colors green and blue together. So that means in my addition there is no red. I press tab and go to green, and my green box in the simulation was full on 255, and I press tab and my blue was full on 255. Now I have a command that is additively mixing blue and green. I have my hub connected to my calculator. You can see it over here on the right. Presently the green light is on, indicating that the hub is ready for action. Now all I have to do is run it. Now remember, in challenge 1 we picked run from the menu, but we also said, hey, run can be done by using a control and a keyboard shortcut, and it's Control R. Control plus R is the keyboard shortcut for running this. So I'm going to give that a try. I'm going to press Control and the letter R, and notice that I go to the next page, 1.10 in the shell, and I also look over here and I see the hub has turned on the LED in this new color that is blue and green together, which is cyan. So this color right here is what I was trying to make in my simulation. Let's go back and look at that simulation. And there it is. Do you see that intersection? That blue-green color called cyan? That matches pretty closely to what I have over here in the hub. Pretty neat. Okay, now let's try another one. Let's try, we just did blue and green. Let's do red and green. Red and green make yellow. So let's see if we can make yellow, and we'll put that 2-second wait in between. So red and green are yellow, there's no blue. So let's go back, click to the right, click to the right, click to the right. And right here I'm going to press enter. And I'm going to choose that sleep command from hub number 8. 5 commands. And number 1, sleep. And I put in 2 seconds. You can put in longer or shorter, it's up to you. And I'm going to click once to get outside of the parentheses, and then I'll press Enter to go to the next line. Now I'm ready to add the RGB command for yellow. So, menu, 8 hub, 2 built-in devices, 1 color output, and then I'll choose the method RGB. I'm trying to make yellow, which we said was full red, so that's 255. I'll press Tab to go to the green. It's full green, 255. And then I'll press Tab and I'll put in 0. Now let's look at what our program says. It's going to turn it on cyan, then it's going to wait 2 seconds, and then it's going to turn it on yellow. So pay attention over here on the right and let's see if it does that. So it's turned on cyan right now. So we'll just run this again and we'll see that it'll come back on cyan and then it'll turn yellow. So let's hit Control R. There's my cyan, 1001, 1002, and there's my yellow. It seems as though that worked. In the directions for the challenge, it asks you to do all 3 of the colors. So at this point, I'm going to pause the video and give you time to finish your program by figuring out the RGB values for the last secondary color, magenta, and don't forget to use that sleep of 2. You might want to try other variations of this program to try to explore other interesting colors and to also explore the effect of the different sleep times. So pause the video now and you can now work on your program. I hope you had success coding the 3 secondary colors. I was working while you were, and I noticed that my light was still turned on from the previous experiment. I want to figure out how to turn that off, and so I started nosing around in the menus and I discovered something. If I go to Menu and Hub and Built-in Devices and choose the color output, I noticed down at the bottom there was an off and I didn't know what that did. So I put it in the top of my code thinking it might turn off my color LED before my program ran, and guess what? It worked. So I encourage you to also explore and try different lines of code and see what you can make. You're not going to break anything with code, so just try different things and see how it works, and remember the things that work well and use them again in the future. So I'm going to show you my program here, and this is hopefully the way that yours works. So I'm going to press Control R to run it. It's turned off. There's my cyan, my yellow, and my magenta. Those are my 3 secondary colors. Well, stay tuned for the next challenge.